The world of cozy games is growing year by year, and with there being hundreds, if not thousands, of cozy games that you can play on the Nintendo Switch right now, some truly incredible ones have just slipped under the radar. So today I'm going to be talking about some underrated cozy games that just need a little bit more love. And starting us off is Muta Zion. Now, I had no idea this game even existed until just last week, but since I downloaded it and started playing it, I realized what a hidden gem this is. As this is described as being a mutant soap opera. In this, you play as Chry, who has just hopped on a boat to travel to a strangely secretive community to take care of her ill grandfather. But from the moment she steps foot on the island, she realizes that this is a town filled to the brim with the supernatural. As it turns out, this island was struck by a meteor nearly 100 years ago. And in this, you'll follow Chry as she explores, makes brand new friends, and uncovers dark secrets among what seems on the surface to be just a friendly town. And although the description says that this is a small town drama, the emotional journey you go on with Chry is anything but small. This is such a unique cozy game, and I can't believe it flew under my radar for so long. Next up, we have Potion Permit. Now, this is a game I commonly suggest to people who are burnt out on farming sims, but wants a game that's similar in vibes. Because Potion Permit has a lot of the same concepts. There's daily tasks for you to do, there's townspeople to get to know and romance, and lots of foraging and exploration. The only difference is, there's no farming. This will see you move from the city to a brand new town to take on the role as their chemist. The only issue is, once you get there, you realize that everyone hates you. But even though you're not off to the best start, you decide to get to work. Because as a chemist, it's your job to help the villagers whenever they get ill. So each day, not only will you have to diagnose each patient who's brought into your ward to figure out what's wrong, you will also then need to figure out which potions they need in order to be cured. You'll then have to go out and gather the ingredients for the potions to then brew them using this little puzzle game. And bit by bit, as you help people out and get to know them, you'll slowly earn the trust of the villagers. But not only do you get to know the people, you also get to know the town itself. Because as soon as you step foot out of this little town, you get to see all the damage the previous chemist did with their experiments. Making this not just a game about helping cure the people, but also one about helping cure the land itself. I love the fact that this is a life sim where you also have a role in the town. You have a job that needs to be done each and every day, so you don't have to make your own fun, but it's also a game that you can take fully at your own pace. You don't have to do all of the main storyline quests if you don't want to, and instead you can fill your days with talking to the people and exploring instead. So if you haven't already checked this out, I can't recommend it enough. Next up, we have Doth Romantic. Now, even though I talk about this a lot and it's also in my top 10 cozy games list of all time, I feel like so many people have forgotten that this exists. This is a wonderfully chill puzzle game that sees you build beautiful landscapes by placing hexagon tiles. And your goal is to simply match as many edges as you can with the same type of tile. And the more you match, the more points you get. But if I'm honest, I don't play this game to get a high score, although I love the fact that it is there. I just enjoy simply building the landscapes. And as you build, you unlock different types of special tiles, keeping the game fresh every single time you play it. But the reason I know that this is one of my favorite cozy games of all time is the fact that it's a game I keep on coming back to. As even on the days where I'm feeling the most stressed, it's something that I can sit down and relax to. Next is another cozy gaming staple, but before we get into that, I just want to thank today's sponsor, Creatures of Ava. If you are looking for a cozy game unlike anything else you have ever played before, then look no further, as this is wonderfully unique and had me hooked from the first 5 minutes of the demo. This is an action-adventure creature-saving game where you play as Vic, a 22-year-old nature adventurer who sets out on an expedition to the planet Ava. But although this was once a beautiful island filled with peaceful creatures, it's slowly being taken over by an infection that not only ruins the land it touches, but also turns the animals violent. So you make it your mission to try and save as many lives as possible. But as you talk to more of the locals and explore more of the land, it's not long before you realize that your idea of saving the world might not be doing the good you think it is. This has exploration aspects. You also get to catalogue all the wildlife you see by taking pictures of it. All the while, you have an absolutely fantastic story to go through. And the best part is, there's no combat in this game at all. So if you want to check out Creatures of Ava for yourself, you can click on the link in the description down below. Next up, we have Grizz. And if you're looking for something that's more than just a cozy game and is an entire experience, then you will adore this. Grizz is all about a lost girl in her own world after dealing with a painful loss in her life. And it will see you platform, explore, and solve puzzles as you navigate her faded reality. But the beauty of Grizz comes from its simplicity, as there's no dangers, no text, and just simple controls. And I love the way that the gameplay itself is fully intertwined with the music. And this, coupled with a beautiful art style, means that this game says so much without the use of words or dialogue at all. And it's truly such a moving experience. And I decided to mention Grizz because I've been mentioning their brand new game coming out later this year, which is Never, and a ton of people have said they haven't actually played Grizz. So this is your sign to go and pick it up. It is absolutely outstanding and I can't recommend it enough. Next up, we have Tavern Talk. Now, this is probably one of my favorite releases of 2024 so far, and not enough people are talking about how incredible this is. Now, if you're someone who loved the vibes of Coffee Talk, then you will absolutely adore this game, as this too is a narrative novel. And in this, you own your very own tavern in a magical D&D inspired world. And although throughout the game, you never leave your spot from behind the bar, you'll learn all about the goings-on of the entire world through the people who come in and ask for a drink. And don't worry, at no point will this game get boring, because this is a very eventful world. So each customer is filled with stories. But you see, in Tavern Talk, these aren't just any ordinary drink, because these drinks have magical properties that change depending on how you make them. And the drinks you decide to serve will determine the customer's fate forever. But you get to control your customer's fate in more ways than just by making them drinks. Sometimes customers will come into the tavern with problems that they need to be solved, or you'll also get snippets of information about goings-on in the realm that needs someone to go and lend a hand. And it's your job to piece these clues together and form a quest. A quest in which some of your customers might decide to go on. But before they set off on their quest, they will ask you to make them a final drink. And the drink you make for them will actually affect how the quest goes. I love the stories and the world building that's done through the customers. And I love the fact that not only do you get to know them, but you also get to see the customers know each other and form friendships. And with each brand new update the game is getting, it just seems to be getting better and better. Next up, we have Tome, which I think I'm saying right. This is a wonderfully unique hand-drawn adventure that will see you solve puzzles, uncover mysteries, and help people, all by taking pictures with your camera. But despite the fact that this is all black and white, this is a game chock full of character. And this, coupled with the music and the quirky people, just make this an unforgettable experience. And again, this is just a game that deserves a little bit more love. Next up is Chry, A Colourful Tale, and this is a top-down adventure game based in a colouring book world. A world where you can draw on anything. But this world also has an issue. Their superstar artist, wielder of the brush Chry, has gone missing, along with all of the colour in the land. And it's left up to Chry's #1 fan to pick up the brush and try and fill in her shoes. But this isn't just a game about exploration, you'll also be needed to solve puzzles by manipulating the environment with paint. And as you go, you unlock new abilities, allowing you to explore further throughout the land. And although this isn't a very long experience, clocking out at around 10 hours or so, this is a truly moving one. Next up, we have Tiny Kin. And this has to be one of the cutest games on today's list, in my opinion. This will see Milo land on Earth, only for him to find out that not only is he quite a bit smaller than the world surrounding him, but there also doesn't seem to be a single sign of human life anywhere. And this will see you team up with the mysterious Tinykin to try and use their powers to make your way home. And if you're someone who loves the idea of Pikmin but not the combat, then this may be the game for you, as this will see you platform, solve puzzles, and explore cities formed in houses, all whilst meeting a wild array of characters as you go. And even on the Nintendo Switch, this is such a beautiful game, and although it's not really that challenging, it's still a lot of fun to do. Next up is Jenny LeClue, and the reason why this is so underrated is the price, because this is almost always on sale for around 85% off, so this is honestly such a bargain. This is a story-driven mystery game that sees Jenny try and discover the truth behind her mother being accused of murder. And the wild part is that this is also fully voice acted, where you get to drive the narrative from beginning to end. And with there being just not enough detective games on the Switch, this is a fantastic one to pick up. Next up, we have Graveyard Keeper. Now, you are fully within your rights to question why a game named Graveyard Keeper is on a cozy gaming list. However, just give me 2 minutes of your time to try and sell you on it. Now, this claims to be the most inaccurate medieval cemetery management game of all time, which, you know, is quite the claim. This will see you gather materials, craft, and expand your graveyard to make a bigger and better business. But not only will you be doing all your normal cemetery management stuff, there's also dungeons to explore. But by far the best part is the fact that you're faced with some hilariously questionable moral dilemmas that you need to try and figure out. And this was also done by the same people who made Bandle Tale, so if you're okay with some darker, cozy humor, this may be your jam. Staying on the darker side of things, we have Red Lantern. This is a narrative story all about dog sledding and survival. You play as the Musher, who moves to Alaska to start a brand new life. And she decides to assemble a dog sledding team to embark on a brand new journey. One that she was ultimately not quite prepared enough for. And although you may fail on some of the journeys you undertake, each journey will teach you how to be better prepared for the next one. But if you're wondering how this game could possibly be cozy, then I will let you know that you can pet the dog and take care of them as well. And considering there is no Nintendogs on the Switch, this may be the closest that we get. But there is also a Zen mode that you can play as well, where you could just let the dogs run and explore the Alaskan landscapes with less worries. Next up, we have a star named Eeowna. Now, this is a game that only just released, but it released around the same time as some big heavy hitters, so I feel like not enough people are giving this the love it deserves. Although this is pretty short, this meshes together a fun point-and-click style game with a beautifully emotional story, and I was surprised to find just how much there was to this experience. The story follows Day as he sets out on a journey to discover the truth about his absent mother. And to do this, he traces her steps through the letters and the pictures she sent him over the years of her travels. And as you travel, you'll get to recreate all the old photos that she left for him. And this is made even better by not only the beautifully animated cutscenes, but also the wonderful voice acting as well. And this had such a variety of puzzles. You had old school point and click mechanics that required you to look in every single nook and cranny of the locations you're given, but also the incorporation of 3D puzzles as well that need to be moved around in order to be solved. I think the only thing that let this down for me is the fact that there was no hint system, so you're left to good old walkthroughs if you get stuck. I feel like I can never have enough point and click games, especially on the Switch, and this is a great addition. Next up, we have Abzu, another game that is commonly on sale, and this is a beautiful game that sees you swim around and immerse yourself in the vibrant hidden world under the sea. And not only is the price of this so much better than the likes of Endless Ocean, the landscapes are also absolutely stunning, and the fish that you swim alongside with will actually interact with your movements, making you feel fully immersed in the world under the sea. Now, there is a story to this, although it's not all that prevalent, so you'll have to make sure that you uncover all of the ancient secrets below the sea and piece them together yourself. And the best part of this is the fact that you can often find this on sale for less than £5, so I definitely recommend it, especially if you were interested in Endless Ocean, but you were sad that it wasn't all that immersive. Next up is Grow Song of the Evertree, and if you enjoyed Yonder, then you'll probably enjoy this, as they're made by the exact same people. This is a beautiful game that sees you grow your very own worlds. As in this, you are the lone carer of the Evertree, a tree where many worlds reside on each of its branches. But although once magnificent, it is now nothing but a sapling, and you are the only one able to make it grow. But in this, you don't just watch the worlds grow on the tree, you also get to go inside of the worlds and see how they change as you tend to them. And on top of this, you will also be helping out those in your own town as well and help rebuild it in your style. I know this is many people's favourite cozy games, and the fact that it's often on sale makes it even better. Next up, we have Roots of Pacha. This game has quickly become one of my favourite farming sims of all time. Now this has a ton of future updates in store, including the addition of brand new regions, so it's definitely a game that just keeps on getting better. And in fact, the most recent update added the ability for your children to grow up with different personality traits and go into one of 8 different professions as they grow up. Roots of Pacha is truly a farming sim with a difference, as it is a prehistoric one. But although this game is set in the past, it does a lot to modernize the farming sim experience, and I really love the fact that there is no combat in this whatsoever. Because in Roots of Pacha, not only do you advance your own farm over time, you also help the town to advance as well. Because although you start off with nothing but a pointy rock and a shared hut where the whole village lives, bit by bit your town will change as people come up with different inventions. This can be anything from tools, animal care, the ability to tell the time, maps, and so much more. And as you grow, so will the town as well. This means that everything you do, everything that you sell, all contributes to the town and helps the game move forwards. And with bundles to complete, mines, and relationships to be had, along with all of the prehistoric events, there is so much to do and so much that makes this special. That's it for my list of cozy games that deserve a bit more love, but if I've missed your favourite, let me know in the comments down below. And if you're looking for a reason to pick up your Nintendo Switch once again, here's 25 upcoming Nintendo Switch games you don't want to miss.